You ever complain about your job? Maybe your boss is annoying, your lunch break's too short, or you just hate Zoom calls. Well, brace yourself, because whatever you're doing for money today, it's nothing compared to what people used to do. Like diving headfirst into literal pits of poop every night, on purpose, for work. Welcome to the worst jobs in human history. Let's get into it. Number 1. The gong farmer. Let's go back to 1500s England, before plumbing, before toilets, before the word sanitary even existed. Back then, people just dropped their business into deep stone holes in the ground. Public bathrooms were rare, like one bathroom per 2,000 people, kind of rare. So yeah, things piled up, fast. By the end of the month, you weren't sitting over a hole. You were squatting over a mountain of fermented human logs. Charming, right? To fix this growing disaster, towns created a brand new job, the gong farmer. Sounds harmless, but in reality, it was the poop collector. These guys waded waist-deep into cesspits filled with human waste, at night, with nothing but a shovel, a bucket, and zero self-respect. Why at night? Because it stank so bad, they weren't allowed to work during the day. The smell was legendary. Even the rats tried to quit. Number 2. The leech collector. Next nightmare, the leech collector. This was back when doctors believed bloodletting could cure anything. Headaches, fevers, heartbreak, you name it. But where did they get all those leeches? From women, standing barefoot in swamps for hours, letting the leeches attach to their legs until they were covered in slimy, sucking blobs. When they had enough stuck on, they scraped them off into jars. Bonus horror. Sometimes the leeches wouldn't come off, so the collectors had to cut them off with knives. Yeah, let that image haunt you forever. Number 3. The resurrectionist. Now let's talk about a job that sounds cool, until you understand what it actually involved. Meet the resurrectionist, aka the 1800s body snatcher. Doctors and med students needed cadavers to study anatomy, but they couldn't legally get enough. So these guys dug up fresh graves at night and sold the bodies to medical schools. They had to work fast, quiet, and with zero conscience. Because if you got caught digging up a grandma, you weren't getting a slap on the wrist. You were getting chased out of town with pitchforks. Imagine clocking in at midnight, armed with a shovel, and thinking, time to make rent by robbing graves. Number 4. Fuller's earth job. Now imagine being a laundry worker in ancient Rome. Sounds harmless? Until you learn how they cleaned clothes. Human urine. Yep. They used pee, because the ammonia in urine helped break down stains. So fullers, those were the laundry guys, collected giant vats of pee, stirred it with their hands, and stomped on the fabric barefoot. Imagine going home after a long shift and your family asking, "So how was work today?" "Oh, same ol'. I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request." Number 5. The executioner. Let's talk about a job that was well paid, but came with some serious emotional baggage. The executioner. They weren't just cutting off heads. They had to kill people, publicly, with crowds cheering or booing. Sometimes the blade didn't land clean, and they had to swing again and again. You ever mess up at work and feel bad? Imagine messing up, and a whole town watching someone scream because of it. Worst part? Executioners were social outcasts. Even though they were doing a state-approved job, no one wanted to live near them. No friends, no respect. Just blood on your hands and bread on the table. Number 6. The sineater. Here's one you've probably never heard of. In 17th century Wales, there was a man who got paid to eat bread off a dead body's chest. Why? People believed he was eating the sins of the dead, taking their spiritual burden through food. That's it. That was the job. A plate of bread, a corpse, and a quick prayer. It sounds mystical, but in reality, it was horrifying. He sat alone with bodies, was shunned by society, and believed to be cursed, all for some dirty bread and a few coins. Number 7. Chimney sweep kids. Now imagine being a child, forced to climb inside tight, sooty chimneys, barefoot, shirtless, no mask. That was reality in Victorian England. Poor families sold their kids into apprenticeship, and these kids would clean chimneys from the inside, crawling through darkness, breathing ash, getting burned. Many got stuck, some suffocated, all were traumatized. And at the end of the day, they were paid in scraps. Worst part, they were told it was a great opportunity. Number 8. Let's be real. Yeah, so the next time you hate your job, ask yourself, am I elbow deep in 16th century poop right now? No? Then hey, you're doing okay. Work has always sucked, but at least we have air conditioning and indoor plumbing now. Smash that like button if you're glad your job doesn't involve dead bodies, leeches, or pee buckets. Subscribe for more weird, dark, hilarious dives into history and psychology. And comment below, what's the worst job you've ever had? Until next time, stay curious, stay clean, and never trust a job that starts after midnight.